In this video, I am going to provide you with a method that can be used to figure the roof pitch or angle of a roof, the slope of a roof, with a level, a framing square, a pencil, and a piece of wood, scrap piece of plywood. First thing you're going to want to do, now this will work if you have shingles on top of the roof with a long enough board. So even if you had tile shingles, you could actually position the board in a certain spot to where you could get the angle and kind of do the same thing here. So you can give it a shot at least, and you don't need to climb up on the roof to do this. I'm at the edge of the roof here. That would be fine. Get a ladder, and I guess a two-story house, this would be a little harder to do, even harder on a three-story home. But let's just pretend like we're working with a single-story home here and not get carried away. So first thing you're going to want to do is put your scrap piece of wood on top of the roof. And you're going to need something at least 12 to 15 inches long and something about 10 inches tall, I would imagine. Then put the level up on the roof. It will rest on the edge of the roof sheathing or shingles, and then go level it. You can see it here. Now the board doesn't need to be in a, doesn't got to be, this point doesn't got to be over here. You know, just kind of get yourself a straight line across the piece of plywood and then mark it. And if you're looking for a more accurate reading, because a small piece of wood could be on a hump or a warp, something like a bow. You know, if you can imagine some kind of a curved surface here, this isn't going to give you a good reading. A longer board might give you a reading. Of course, you might need to take the longer board and put it in a different area of the house. And the same thing, this same method could be used on the fascia board. You could do the same thing with a fascia board, but sometimes the fascia board is bowing or warped also, creating the same problem. So this isn't going to give you a perfect roof pitch number all the time, but most of the time it's going to get you close enough to do some work if you need to, the repair work. Next up will be to take the piece of plywood down and put it on a flat surface. Draw a line parallel to the roof surface. Remember, this was the surface of the roof sheathing. This was the line that we made with our level. And we want it to come off of this point so that we can use it for our framing square. Framing square will line up with the number 12 on the framing square with that point, and it will be parallel to the line that we used that we put on there to create the point that would be parallel to the roof sheathing. So here's the 12, here's the 5. This gives us our pitch. We would have a 5 and 12 roof rafter, or 5 and 12 angle on our roof. And of course, this would represent the vertical or the up and down cut, and this would represent the horizontal cut on the rafter. And of course, this would be more or less the top of the roof at the ridge, and this would be the angle here that would sit on top of the walls. Just go ahead and zoom in, give you a better idea what we're talking about, how we're lining the 12 up with the point there. And the line lines up with the number 5 here. Now, this works. You know, in the perfect situation, this is going to happen, but I hate to say it, this is probably more what is going to happen. You're going to run into a situation where you line everything up and it's a little bit away from the number you're looking for. And this could happen because it's got a little bulge in the roof where you put your piece of plywood on. And of course, this might, you know, if you do come to a situation like this, you might need to go with a longer board if you need a precise measurement or an angle, something like that. But you can assume basically that either this was a 5 and 12 and the person who installed the roof did it correctly at the 5 and 12, or you can use this measurement for your angle, but it's not going to be that far off. These measurements are normally used for doing roof repairs. And if you're doing a roof repair, then 5 and 12 or 5 and a quarter, even 4 and 3/4 is going to provide you with something that might be just close enough. So here's the horizontal cut. Here is the vertical cut. This one here would sit on top of the wall framing. And this one here would be at the top of the ridge. So this would be the vertical cut, the one that would be up and down on the framing square. And again, this is something that could be used for figuring out repairs if you have some badly damaged wood where you just can't trace the measurement from. Or you might have some wood that is warped and twisted, deformed. You know, you might have something that's got a big sag in it, and that could create a problem for creating a measurement of it too. So there are other ways to figure the roof pitch, but this is one of them, and it seems pretty simple. And if it works, use it, and let me know what you think of the video by hitting the old thumbs up button.